Hello, I'm Marta Dyczok. I teach history and political science at the University of Western Ontario, and I'm pleased to be this week's guest anchor for StopFakeNews. On October the 7th, Russia One's anchorman Andriy Shevchenko falsely reported that Ukraine's general staff had denied the presence of Russian troops in the Donbas. Shevchenko was reporting on a preceding report by Maria Sito. She had reported that the head of Ukraine's parliament had said that the fulfillment of the Minsk agreements by the Ukrainian side for the elections in the Donbas could take part only after the withdrawal of Russian troops. Then Shevchenko added, the same Russian troops that are not present in the Donbas, even according to the data of the Ukrainian General Staff. StopFake, however, has been unable to find any such assessment by the country's General Staff. And as recently as September the 11th, Ukraine's President Petro Poroshenko told an international gathering, quote, "The Russian aggressor is still standing with tens of thousands of troops and countless heavy weapons, tanks, artillery, multiple rocket launcher systems, missiles, and other military equipment, not only at our border, but also on our soil," end of quote. On October the 1st, in its travel section, the Telegraph published an article by BBC journalist John Simpson entitled, "Crimea's Charms Uncovered." The article drew widespread condemnation, largely for encouraging foreigners to travel illegally to Crimea, and it contained a number of serious errors. For example, the initial version of Simpson's article claimed that Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev handed over Crimea to Ukraine, which had allegedly always been Russian. But the truth is that the Crimean Oblast was transferred to the Ukrainian SSR by a decree of the Presidium of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR, dated February the 19th, 1954, and by a law of the USSR dated April 26, 1954. Simpson also claims that the only way to get to Crimea now is through Russia, but this is also incorrect. Passage by land from mainland Ukraine to Crimea is possible. As for foreign tourists, they must first receive permission from Ukraine's State Migration Service. Foreign citizens who circumvent Ukraine's laws for entering Crimea and go through Russia are subject to penalties, as this is viewed as a serious violation of Ukrainian law. Penalties could include a ban on entering Ukraine, business relations ban, or the suspension of financial operations in the country. On September the 24th, Ukrainian media falsely reported that the Russian television channel Zvezda, famous for its manipulated coverage of Ukraine, had claimed that well-known football player Andriy Shevchenko had been appointed Ukrainian ambassador to Canada. The news was accompanied by a screenshot, allegedly from the site of the Russian channel. In fact, another Andriy Shevchenko, an MP and former journalist, had been named to Ukrainian ambassador to Canada. The Zvezda television channel did not make this claim, and the screenshot used to claim they did does not resemble the format typically used by Zvezda. The image was likely forged by the anti-Russian Facebook group Rossiya24, which posted it before the news agencies picked up the story. StopFakeNews recently reported on a photo fake about a Donbas boy, presented as an orphan searching for his parents among the debris of a destroyed Ukrainian town. This photo has now hit Swedish social networks, but with a new twist. Earlier, the photo was manipulated by Russian media to stir anger at alleged Ukrainian army atrocities. The content of the photo has once again been altered, but this time against Muslims migrating to Sweden. On October the 4th, the photograph appeared on Swedish Facebook pages. By October the 9th, it had been reposted more than 1,700 times. The accompanying text reads, quote, "A war is going on close to us, and we have the same blood from the time of the Vikings. Christian children suffer. Why don't we help them? This is a child in Ukraine. His pro-Russian parents were killed. Their town was destroyed. He certainly would not refuse Swedish assistance, and he would not be a great burden to us. Why don't we help these children? They are our neighbors and Christians. I would gladly adopt these children myself. But instead of this, we host Muslim refugees. I can't get this child out of my head. He is close by, not at the other end of the world. The photo was taken in the summer. What happened to him? Does he have a warm shelter?" End of quote. StopFake has already reported that the photo is actually from a choreographed video made by director Dan Levy this summer. Levy himself has made this clear in his own posts. The child is currently living with his parents in a shelter in the Donetsk Oblast. These are just some of the most recent bogus stories concerning Ukraine in this region of Europe. To keep up to date with the exposed fakes, please visit StopFake's website, and also please let StopFake know about any reports you think that need to be checked out or verified. I'm Marta Dyczok, and I'm pleased to have presented you with some of this week's exposed fakes.